Hi boys and welcome back to day 14. I recorded this previously and it sucked. So I'm going to re-record this. I'm going to try to do it in one take because I don't have much time these days, as you probably know. So last time we talked about the 10 things you should answer before you buy any stock, right? Well, there's really one more thing you should do. You should make a story for it. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, that means you should write down why you personally like the stock. What does it boil down to for you? What are the things you like about this particular company that if they changed, maybe you don't like them anymore. But for now, this is why you like this company. Maybe it's their best of breed position in the market. Maybe it's their easy to use tools. Maybe it's their high profit margins or whatever it is. What are the reasons you chose for liking this? Usually there's more than one. I'll have 4 or 5 reasons why I like a company. Some companies I'll have 10 reasons. Some 2 or 3, and that's all you need. But mainly you need to write it down. That's the whole point. And then from there, boil it down to what's called an elevator pitch. An elevator pitch is something you can actually pitch to someone in an elevator. You're walking on an elevator and someone says, "Hey, I heard you bought that stock." You can say, "Oh yeah," and they say, "Hey, why'd you do that?" You got between floor lobby and floor 10 to explain it to them. You got 15 seconds. Go. So it's not that easy. But if you have your ideas to where you can boil them down to here's why, the essence of why I like the stock, you should be able to do that. Making the story for it helps, and then that will also help in making an elevator pitch. If you can do that, you know what you're talking about. Peter Lynch once said, "You must be able to explain any stock you own to a 10-year-old in under 2 minutes." It's important. You have to be able to explain why you own a stock. If you don't know why you own a stock, you shouldn't own it. It also helps in the future when 10 years go by and you own that stock and you kind of forgot about that stock, and now you look back and it's sitting in your portfolio, and let's say it's lost some money. You're going, "Oh, gee, should I sell? What should I do?" Well, go back to your story. Go back to your reasons why you bought it in the first place. Why do you like this company? If those reasons still hold up, then great. There's no reason most likely to sell unless competition's come along and is interfering. But otherwise, if those reasons are there, consider buying more. So what's an example of a story? Well, you'd write it down, but here's an example of the kind of thing I'm talking about. Let's put the clock up, 2 minutes. Let's see if I can do it under 2 minutes. Atlassian, they're one of my favorite companies. I've used their tools before, especially love Jira. Helps teams use Agile the way it's supposed to be used. And if you do that, everyone stays in communication with each other, everyone knows what's going on, and you fall into the pit of success as a team. In software development teams, I can know what someone else is working on without having to go bug them about it. No one likes being bugged. People like to just do their work. And with that, you're allowed to just do your work. It's great. Managers know what's going on. QA, the quality assurance team, they know what's coming down the pipeline for them. They can plan accordingly, knowing, "Oh crap, I'm going to have to test this big thing. Let me get some test scripts going." They can do that. Everyone is on the same page. Everyone knows what everyone else is doing. It's great. Sales knows what's coming down the pipeline. They can inform customers. It's just wonderful. Also, their tools are very easy to use. They're not buggy. They're intuitive. Confluence, for instance, does what SharePoint, Microsoft has always said SharePoint does. Confluence actually does it. Bitbucket interfaces very well. It's a source control tool very well with Jira. So you can go into the source and say, when was this bug introduced and why? Hey, look at that. It ties back to the story over here. Oh, we introduced that bug because of this over here. Oh, crap. We didn't think of that as an unintended side effect here. Uh-oh. Maybe we should reconsider that. Let's see. Their management's awesome at Atlassian. They tend to make great decisions. I can go on and on about the management, their acquisitions, their whole, what they did with HipChat. They tend to know what they're doing, and they sell everything at a fair price, and it's cloud-based. They can raise prices if they want to. They're also very sticky. Once customers get their product, they tend not to let it go. And also they have a land and expand system going, where once they get into a customer, they tend to keep expanding within that customer. Maybe the software department will get it, software development, and then all of a sudden accounting sees what they're doing and say, "Whoa, we can use that over here." And then marketing sees it and goes, "Whoa, we can use that over here." And sales uses it and says, "Whoa, we can use that over here." And it tends to expand and expand and expand and expand. That's kind of a story for Atlassian. Notice I didn't even talk about profit margin or anything else. Now, some people look at this would say, "Hey, because they're not profitable." Yeah, because they don't want to be. They take all of their revenue and put it back into the company. Not revenue. Think EBITDA. Don't worry about that. Basically, just money that would be profit. They take all of that and put it right back into the company, so there really is no profit. They don't give anything back to shareholders or anything yet. That's what I meant. They're taking the Amazon model on that. But that's a story for him. These are the reasons why I like Atlassian. Okay. Now, what's an elevator pitch? An elevator pitch would be something more like this. Hey, Frank, why do you like Atlassian? I like their land and expand model. I like their stickiness. I like the ease of use of their tools. I like that people like their tools. And I like their management. That's all you need. I could probably go on and on, but that does it. And if he has any questions in the other 5 floors remaining, what do you like about their management? Their acquisitions all make a lot of sense in retrospect. I could just say that. So that's pretty much it. For any stock, you should be able to know why you own it, know the company behind it, write it down. Then later on, you can look back at that story and say, does it still work for you? It's a really great way to ground yourself later in life when Mr. Market's doing crazy things. And you start going kind of crazy yourself because of it. You can look back at your story and say, does this still make sense or not? If it still makes sense, great. Hold on to the stick. Hold on to the stick. Hold on to the stock and even buy some more. If it doesn't, if the company has kind of drifted over time, that happens. Companies can kind of drift and do something else. GE, for instance, General Electric is a very different company today than they were 50 years ago. Drastically different. There's so many other companies like that that kind of are changing over time. So anyway, the whole point is, maybe the thesis for why you invested in it to begin with, the story, maybe that story changes and it no longer makes sense for you to be invested in it. Or maybe it makes even more sense for you to be invested in it. But if the story changes, you should reevaluate the stock. If the story's still the same, you don't have to do that. Good to go. If the Mr. Market's going crazy on you and the story's still the same, consider buying more stock. So write down the story. Homework for today, don't worry about a story for now. Just come up with an elevator pitch. Tell me why, in 20 seconds, you like McDonald's. You both own it, right? Why do you like McDonald's as an investor? Give me a 20-second elevator pitch. I look forward to it. Speaking of elevators,